the Anoka County HRA. If I can get on the right agenda. There we go. For March 26th, the trustees, where 4 of the trustees are here. Trustee Brasted, Trustee Meisner, not in attendance today. Approval of minutes. Item number 3 is approval of minutes from the February 20th HRA board meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
It's been moved by Trustee Jepson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Reiner. Any discussion, changes? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. I have no chair's remarks this morning, except to thank all of you for being here on a snowy spring day. And we'll move into the public hearing aspect. Item number 5, Karen. You, sorry, County Attorney.
Thanks. At this time, I will go ahead and open the public hearing portion of the meeting. We should reflect that the time is 11:09 a.m. I would ask that the minutes also reflect that the notice of the public hearing was published on February 23rd, 2024 in the Anoka County Union, informing the public that a hearing would occur during the March 26th meeting of the HR Board to allow public comment on 2 proposed amendments to the program year 2023 action plan portion of the Dakota County Consortium's 2020 to 2024 consolidated plan. Before we receive any public comments, the Community Development Manager, Renee Sandy, will address the board with an overview of the amendments. I think we'll take them in turn. So the first one is reallocation of $20,000 from Anoka County-wide single-family rehab loan program to the Anoka Countywide Single-Family Home Rehab Program delivery costs for administrative staff and expenses. Thanks.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and trustees. Renee Sandy, Community Development Manager. Basically, it's just shifting $20,000 from our loan program to actually cover the program delivery cost. So fairly simple.
Okay, with that in mind, on that item, if there are any members of the public who wish to provide comments, now is your opportunity. Please take turns stepping forward. Does anybody wish to address the board? Seeing nobody stepping forward, does anybody wish to address the board? And one last time, if there's anybody who wishes to address the board, now is your chance. Seeing none, I will go ahead and close the meeting and hand the, oh, nope, sorry, not close the meeting. Belay that order. We have a second item. So let's turn to item B, allocating to sand companies up to $2 million of previously uncommitted home rental funds, including $1,618,938.08 from fiscal year 2020 through 2022, and $381,061.92 from fiscal year 2023 for the proposed acquisition, construction, and soft costs related to the creation of a 48-unit affordable housing apartment in Blaine. And I believe Tanya is going to address this one.
Thank you, Chair and trustees. This is the reallocation of those additional funds for the pipeline project that Sand submitted to us. So it's just taking, we need to move the funds into the 2023 in order to potentially be able to fund that project.
All right, again, if there is anyone who wishes to address item B, now is the time to step forward. One more time, if anybody wishes to address item B, now is your chance. And last time, if anyone is here to address this item, now is the chance. Seeing no further comments, I now will close the public hearing portion of this meeting and turn the meeting back to the chair.
Thank you. So are we down to then item number 6? Okay, we have nothing to do any longer with the public hearing on that part. Excellent. The item number 6 is to consider approving reallocating $20,000 from Anoka Countywide Single-Family Rehab Loan Program to the Anoka Countywide Single-Family Home Rehab Program delivery costs for administrative staff and expenses. Are we on track? Okay. I thought I was confusing you all for a minute there. So Renee, or does this go to Karen, whomever?
I have nothing else to add to that.
Okay.
Just a vote on that one, and then we'll move to item 7.
I'll move approval, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We have a motion by Trustee Schulte. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Trustee Jepson. And any discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Trustee Reiner?
Aye.
Trustee Schulte.
Aye.
Trustee Gamache.
Aye.
Trustee Jepson.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Moving down to item number seven, consider recommending allocating to sand companies up to $2 million for previously uncommitted home rental funds, including $1,618,938.08 from program year 2020 through 2022, and $381,061.92 from program year 2023 for the proposed acquisition, construction, and soft costs related to the creation of a 48-unit affordable housing apartment in Blaine. Do I have a motion on that?
So moved.
It's been moved by trustee Jepson. Do I have a second? I'll second it. Any discussion? Hearing none, this is a roll call vote.
Trustee Schulte.
Aye.
Trustee Gamache.
Aye.
Trustee Jepson.
Aye.
Trustee Reiner.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Item number 8 is a public hearing. Here we go again.
Okay, at this time, I will open the second public hearing portion of the meeting. The time for this one is 11:14 a.m. I would ask that the minutes reflect that notice of this public hearing was published on February 23rd, 2024 in the Anoka County Union to inform the public that a hearing would occur at the March 26th meeting of the HRA Board to allow public comment on the public year 2024 annual action plan and the county's proposed use and allocation of CDBG and home funds based on applications received. Before we receive any public comments, Renee Sandy, the Community Development Manager, will address the board with an overview of the proposal.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and trustees. This is part of our annual plan process, and basically our funding recommendations are outlined in the memo that was attached. I can read through those if you would like me to. Otherwise, would you like me to go through that, or again, it was all as part of the packet here?
Yeah, we have, I think it's all in here. I'm not sure if we necessarily have to go through all of it at this point in time, because we do have some people here that would like to speak to it. So I think we can
Certainly.
move on to that part of it.
All right, before we proceed, did we receive any written comments on this?
No comments were received, written or...
Okay, if there are any members of the public who would wish to provide comments, now is your opportunity. Please take turns stepping up to the podium and state your name and the agency or program that you represent before addressing the Board of Trustees. I believe our time limit is about 2 minutes. Is that correct? Okay, and then we'll take who's first.
Good morning, Commissioners and Board of Trustees. My name is Bernadette Carfo. I'm the Executive Director of Mediation and Restorative Services. And we appreciate being included in the CDBG funding round. We offer mediation and restorative services, training and housing navigation to people in Anoka County. And those navigation are also embedded with services that has to do with resource connection that really seamlessly help look at other socioeconomic determinants that really are hindrances to people accessing resources. So our housing navigation grew from housing mediation in advance of eviction hearing. This has become a service that supports low to moderate income households to meet their obligations from a mediation or establish new housing, preventing homelessness in our community. The need for these services exceeds our capacity, and this grant will help us to serve more Anoka County households. I would turn it over to David, who is in charge of those engagement, because he'll be able to elucidate further on how that's done and why this needs is a burning desire. David?
Thanks, Bernadette. I'm David Wyatt. I'm a housing resource navigator at Mediation Restorative Services. A little too tall for the microphone.
You might pull them up a little bit. There, there you go.
I spend a lot of time in a housing court in Anoka County, and one of the things that we do is we send a postcard for every tenant or an eviction is filed in the county to try to connect with them ahead of time, prepare them for court. We're there in court as a resource along with representatives from emergency assistance. We connect them with outside resources to help them stay in their properties. And that's been really successful. I appreciate your consideration on this, because it'll allow us to continue and expand that process into the future.
Great, thank you. Next.
Good morning, trustees. I'm Jenny Green. I am from Alexandra House.
I am the Director of Housing and Supportive Services, and I just wanted to drive out in the snow and thank you for continuing to support us. It's not just supporting our agency, but the many domestic and sexual violence victims in our community. And we can't thank you enough, so thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Good morning, Chair and trustees. My name is Stephanie Lehman, and I am the Executive Director at Anoka County Brotherhood Council, also known as ACBC Food Shelf. In 2023, we served nearly 60,000 people through our services, mainly our food shelf, and then through grocery delivery and mobile outreach efforts. We are excited about this grant opportunity because we are the only food shelf in the state of Minnesota that has our own commodity supplemental food program, which is a Department of Health program through the USDA, or a USDA program administered by the Department of Health, sorry. And this funding will actually allow us to go into underserved areas of Anoka County, providing food and fresh produce to low-income adults ages 60 and over, and just really focus on areas that are not being served. And we will do this in partnership with our collaborative partners and ACAP to identify areas needing assistance and then being a monthly food provider for them. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any other members of the public who would like to address the board? Any other members of the public who would like to address the board? All right, last call for anyone who would like to address the board on this issue. Hearing no further comments, I will close the public hearing portion of the meeting and turn it back to the board chairman.
Thank you. And thank you for the comments and coming out in the inclement weather today. Item number 9 then is to consider approving staff recommendations for program year 2024 action plan, which includes community development block grant, CDBG, and home funding applications. Upon the ACHRA board approval, the 2024 CDBG and home funding recommendations will move forward to the May 14th, 2024 county board meeting for final approval. Anything you wanted to add, Renee, at this point in time, or can you take any questions if any of the trustees have questions?
Yes, open to questions. And the only thing I would note here is that HUD has not allocated our PY24 fund allocation yet. So these are estimates based on our 23 funding allocations. And there is a notation of any increase or decrease will be reflected and hopefully have that information firmed up by the time we go to county board on May 14th.
And that is usually the situation we're in at this time of year. They haven't
Correct.
firmed those up. So, Trustee Schulte.
Mr. Chair. Renee, if we don't have those final numbers at this board meeting, at the next board meeting, do we still ratify this and then proportionately reduce or increase when HUD gets us those numbers? Or do we wait till the final number's in before we actually ratify that?
Mr. Chair, trustee, I'm just looking, we typically identify, we have identified that if we get any more or less funding from the federal government, that we've identified which projects will get either increases or reductions. For public services, it's the neighborhood health source, and for CDBG regular funds, it's our home rehab, our homeowner rehab program.
But we still ratify at the next meeting,
Correct.
meeting, whether or not we know the final number.
Mr. Chair, trustee, yes, we will have you approve the agreement or our allocation plan, and we will move forward and make any subsequent adjustments with those 2 contracts as we get to that point.
Thank you, Karen, Renee. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yep. Any other questions? All right, seeing none, if there's nothing more to add, we are going to be voting on this, I believe. Let me go back up to the top. This is considering the staff recommendations, this is a roll call vote.
All right, we'll need a motion and a second.
Oh, that's right.
I'll move, Mr. Chair.
I'll second.
forgot that we didn't get that already. It was moved by trustee Schulte and seconded by trustee Jepson. Hearing no further other discussion, this is a roll call vote.
Trustee Gamache?
Aye.
Trustee Schulte?
Aye.
Trustee Jepson?
Aye.
Trustee Reinert?
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. And that is all that we have to come before the HRA this morning. And I want to thank everybody for coming out in the inclement weather, and looking forward to the May meeting where we'll finalize everything at that time. Thank you, and the meeting is adjourned.